Welcome to round 4 of the YouTuber Draft Championship. My opponent in this round is the CountJinsula, link in the description to his channel if you want to check him out. And yeah, if you're not familiar with the Draft Championship here, it's a bring 8, pick 3, best of 5 type tournament where we draft our Pokemon. So not every single person has the same Pokemon, which is why our teams have some pretty unique and goofy picks here. And as far as the battles are concerned, even though it is best of 5, we actually have to play all 5 battles because the amount of wins plays into the semifinals and finals. So we got to play them all out. At any rate, yeah, opponent here is CountJinsula. CountJinsula is also uploading this kind of video, but from his perspective on his channel too. So if you want to get his input on the matter or see what was going on his side of the fight, link in the description to his video as well as soon as it's up. And without further ado, let's get into the battles. So starting out, I'm leading in with Steelix because I think that, leading in with the spider down there, the Galvantula, is probably one of his better plays. So I wanted to meet that immediately with a Steelix. And he throws out an Alolan Marowak, which isn't fantastic for me. But the good thing about having Steelix in here is that the ball isn't entirely in the Count's court because I've got aggressive charge moves that, Alolan Marowak has to be mindful of, which can get me shields, which can set up Talonflame for a good sweep in the end game here. So this guy's just straight bone clubbing, and I reach the Earthquake and I throw the Crunch to try to either deal massive damage or get a shield from him. And we can see that we get the shield, we get the defense drop, and I immediately go to the Greedent. He swaps out the Greedent, charged up on energy, so it's a little tenuous because, does he got a Shadow Ball? What's he got going on? And he swap catches the Crunch on the Galvantula. And I don't believe I got the defense drop there, which is pretty rough. He's lunging at me, and I'm going for the double body slam to either eliminate Galvantula or just straight up take it out. In retrospect, maybe it wasn't the greatest idea. Actually, no, my Steelix is pretty weak, and never mind. Good plan on my part, because if I just let Greedent get KO'd, Steelix is in a position where it could reasonably get taken out by Galvantula, even though Steelix does have a pretty dominant matchup against it. I think he undercharged there to try to get the farm down. So rather than letting him get some extra energy, I swap straight to the Steelix there to try to reach the Crunch, so I can take on the Alolan Marowak. It's not a great situation because the Alolan Marowak comes in, throws a charge move, gets a shield for me, and then I crunch him, and I take him out, but now I'm in a position to get farmed. 0 energy, Talonflame in the back, but he is swap locked. So knowing that the Galvantula isn't at a charge move, and that I got, Talonflame to work with here, and unless this Alolan Sandslash here has Blizzard, I don't think Talonflame really has anything to worry about for the end game here, and can just straight fast move down, get the flame charge to, deal some bigger damage or close the fight out sooner. He does reach the 2 ice punches, which is kind of scary. Swaps into the Galvantula to take the fast move damage there on the turn 0. And then I take him out with the flame charge, securing the first round battle. So yeah, overall my plan with Talonflame in my match against CountJinsula here is a lot of his Pokemon do have aggressive fast move damage and early charge moves that could chip it down pretty quickly. So I wasn't sure how well Talonflame would go. So I figured I'll just keep bringing Talonflame until he starts playing around it with aggressive damage there and just see how it goes. So yeah, he leads in with Haunter. I wasn't too sure he was going to lead with, so I just went with Talonflame for kind of a neutral setup, using Serperior as a safe swap. Serperior is a pretty good safe swap against this team because unless he responds with Alolan Marowak, I think it has some pretty good play against the majority of his Pokemon, and even if it is Alolan Marowak, if I get the Leaf Tornado on it, then there is a good chance I could flip that matchup. So I swap out of that into the Steelix there because, against the Haunter lead, may as well go into Steelix at this point. Steelix is pretty good as a safe swap too. Kind of reminds me of the Sinister Cup days, where it's you swap into Steelix, you're probably going to lose the swap, but you could get a shield because you got that big Earthquake that they have to respect, and you get to that Earthquake a lot sooner nowadays because of the Dragon Tail buffs. So yeah, I think Steelix overall is a pretty dynamic pick, pretty underrated in the open meta, but I think we can, blame Galar Stunfisk for that, right? So now his weakened Lapras is lined up against my Serperior, which is pretty good news for me because, as far as the charge moves are concerned, if he throws early, it's Surf, and I know how long it takes him to get to the Skull Bash or the Ice Beam, so like Ball's pretty much in my court when it comes to Superior in this fight. And now Superior is up energy against a weakened Haunter, which I hear fast move down. I got a shield, and then we got Galvantula. And Frenzy Plant is Frenzy Plant. Like, I think it's resisted. I think Bug resists it. Yeah, but it is Frenzy Plant. And Galvantula is quite squishy. So 2 Frenzy Plants knocks the Spider out here. Dude, poor Spider. Just can't get lined up against the Talonflame there, which, I mean, good for me. Bad for the count here, right? But that is the second round win. So for this third round here, I'm leading in with the Oxus Defense form. He led Ghost 2 times. I figured he's not going to lead Ghost again, right? And sure enough, he leads Ghost again. And so we're leading into this fight. I know that I can reach Rock Slide before he can reach the Shadow Ball, but we do see MP-tie. And I haven't seen his second charge move yet. So I shield it up, and it does end up being the Shadow Bone, which is kind of bad news for me. I was kind of hoping to have Shadow Ball because, Shadow Bone being faster does make it a little bit more aggressive. But now that I know that Shadow Bone, I adjust, and I swap, and I catch with the Greedent, which does basically no damage. But I believe he does get the defense drop here, which is pretty rough. Brings in Sand Slash. It is a Shadow Claw Sand Slash, so all these fast moves are resisted, but those Ice Punches are going to hit harder than ever now because I've got the defense drop. So I'm charging up to a Crunch because Alolan Sand Slash is a Steel-type Pokemon, so the Body Slams would be resisted. So I hit him with the Crunch. I start working my way up to a second Crunch, and I don't think he lets me get it. But not the end of the world, though, right? He's swap locked in. And I got a Talonflame, and I got a Deoxys Defense form. And while DOD doesn't enjoy fighting Alolan Marowak, like, it's a job that it can do. And then if I can load up on energy on my Talonflame here, then I could possibly take it out with the Brave Birds. Who will he bring in next? It is the Alolan Marowak. So he's fire spinning away. I reach the Brave Bird. I throw the Brave Bird. Will he shield the Brave Bird? He does. But then I throw another one, and I reach the second Brave Bird. I don't know if he was at a charge move at this point. I think that'd be interesting to see from his perspective. Maybe he didn't know that I was that up on energy and thought that he could fast move me down at that point, or thought he had a little bit more wiggle room. I can't say for certain. But yeah, Talonflame kind of had its way with the Alolan Marowak there. And then in the end, he brings in the Alolan Raichu, throws Thunder Punch. I'm afraid of like a Thunder Punch Wild Charge or like a double Wild Charge here. Fortunately, the Rock Slides are doing enough to take it out with the 2 hits there, securing yet another win in the championship. So for round 4, I'm leading in with my Bite Shadow Skuntank. He did Ghost 3 times now. I think he's just going to do Ghost again, right? So using my Bite Shadow Skuntank, I'm just going to dominate this lead matchup, right? And it turns out it's a Poison Jab Shadow Skuntank. Yeah, so in between opponents, we can change, the attacks on our Pokemon. So I thought I was going to be big brain and use Bite Shadow Skuntank, but I didn't change the fast move to Bite, which isn't good because Ghost resists poison type attacks, and as you can see, with me having the lower defenses, even these Shadow Punches are like chunking the heck out of my Skuntank, and I definitely don't want to get farmed by the Haunter there, so I make a bold choice and I swap immediately to this Talonflame, maybe, take out the Haunter, get a little bit of like energy lead edge on the, other stuff in the team, try to make it work because Poison Jab Skuntank ain't doing a lot for me. Fortunately, CountJinsula here had a miss-swap and accidentally swapped into the Alolan Sandslash. In the moment, I was like, okay, Alolan Sandslash, he must have like his Charmer or his Razor Leafer in the back, and he's trying to protect it and, bully me down with the fast Ice Punches. But that wasn't exactly the case there. I guess he just accidentally did, the wrong swap. So that's rough, right? But yeah, so endgame, I got Superior, up 2 shields, avoiding big damage here. It just ends up being a Thunder Punch. I shield that up. And we got Haunter to the 1 shield. Haunter cannot tolerate a Frenzy Plant, even though it does resist grass-type attacks. Frenzy Plant is just that strong. And he throws the Shadow Punch for the bait. I reach the Frenzy Plant, and that is almost game, because he does have a weakened Alolan Raichu in the back. And yeah, he quits out of the fight. So for the final round, I think this is the time. I think this is the moment. He's going to lead with Galvantula. He hasn't all game. He's got to do it. So I lead in with Steelix, and it is Galvantula. So I think that is like my first one lead of the day here. Swaps to the Alolan Sandslash there. I respond to Talonflame. Talonflame's been working out for this entire set, so why not bring it again? And yeah, so Talonflame v Alolan Sandslash. I have to throw here because like it does do enough damage with the ice punches that you have to respect it, right? He brings in the Galvantula. Now I'm up an attack buff. I'm up on energy. You know, this thing can fast move me down, and I think it is going to fast move me down here, but I can deal some crazy, crazy damage to it. And even though it did get that farm action in, I'm able to respond with Steelix, which is like the beauty of having Steelix be lined up against the Galvantula here. It can throw lunges at me all day, and that's going to be resisted. I think it might even be double resisted. Does ground resist bug? I'm not sure. So he brings in Haunter, and I got Deoxys Defense Form in the end game, which is like a pro and a con, I guess, especially with Haunter here, right? 2 shields, but I know a Psycho Boost can take it out, so I just wanted to try to eliminate that final shield before I tried to do anything, fancy involving Psycho Boost, or it could just turn around on me very quickly, because Haunter is that fast. So fortunately, I got the shield from it with the Crunch, or I guess fortunately, Steelix didn't get KO'd before the Crunch. At any rate, pretty good spot for the end game here. We got the Galvantula. I got Steelix in back. It's over. So those were my battles against CountJinsula. A pretty nice 5-0 in the bank, helping me qualify better for the semifinals there, so I can turn around and execute my master plan to destroy Jonkus Pokemon Go and take away all the glory, all the love that he took from me by taking Dedenne. So GG's to my opponent, CountJinsula here. If you do want to see his battles, from his perspective, link in the description to that video and to his channel there. Make sure to give him a subscribe while you're at it. And yeah, if you like these battle videos, you want to see me continue on in this tournament, well, make sure to subscribe to Swagtips here. Swagtips. I also want to give a special shout out to these Patreon supporters. If you want to support Swagman on Patreon, link in the description.